You know that feeling, right? You've got this brilliant idea, it's perfect in your head, but then when you try to explain it, it just kind of fizzles out. Well, we're going to fix that. Today, we're unlocking the secret to making your ideas land with the punch they truly deserve. Of course you have. We all have. It's that light bulb moment, you know? A tricky problem suddenly makes sense, or a creative idea just pops into your head out of nowhere. It's so clear, inside your own mind. But then you open your mouth to tell someone, maybe your professor or coworker or even a friend, and it all just falls apart. The genius you saw gets all jumbled up, misunderstood, or worse, just completely ignored. Yeah, it's super frustrating. And believe me, it happens to everyone. So, this gap, right? The one between that amazing thought and the pretty mediocre explanation, let's call that the clarity conundrum. But here's the good news. It's not some impossible puzzle. We're about to build a bridge that'll turn those awesome internal thoughts into real-world impact. And it all starts right here, with this one simple but incredibly powerful idea. Clear thinking leads to clear communication. See, it's a sequence. You can't really have one without the other. The way you communicate is basically a mirror, reflecting how clearly you're thinking. So how do we get to that crystal clear thinking? Well, we're going to start with the first tool in our communication toolkit, writing. Writing is amazing because it forces us to slow down and really be meticulous. It lets us build a solid logical case on paper before we ever have to say a word. Okay, check these out. These are basically the 5 pillars of awesome writing. For clarity, just remember this. If you can't explain it simply, you probably don't understand it well enough yet. Organization, that's your roadmap, guiding your reader from point A to B with no detours. Coherence makes that ride super smooth. Accuracy is what builds trust. It's your proof. And finally, conciseness. This one's huge. Just respect your reader's time and get right to the point. And here's your universal blueprint for pretty much any piece of writing. The introduction, that's where you tell your reader, hey, this is where we're going. The body is the actual journey, where you lay out all your evidence and build your case step by step. And the conclusion? That's where you remind them of the destination and why the trip mattered. It's a simple formula, but man, it just works. All right, so we've built a solid argument on paper. Now, it's time to bring that idea to life. And that brings us to our second big skill, speaking. This is where things get really dynamic. It's not just about what you say, it's about connecting with people right here, right now. So what's really the difference? Well, with writing, you have the luxury of time, right? You can edit and polish every single word. But speaking gives you the power of immediate connection. You can actually see how your audience is reacting, you can change your tone, you can create this shared experience that writing just can't replicate. A clear message and a logical flow are still your foundation. That doesn't change from writing. But speaking adds these other powerful layers. Your tone of voice can scream confidence or whisper doubt. Being aware of your audience means you can adjust on the fly. And hey, don't ever forget, your posture, your gestures, your eye contact, sometimes that stuff speaks way louder than your actual words. So, we've got these 2 powerful tools in our belt, writing and speaking. But this isn't just some academic exercise. Getting good at this stuff gives you a huge, tangible advantage in the real world, in your classes for sure, but also way beyond that. Seriously, think of it this way. Strong communication is basically a superpower. It's the difference between a so-so grade and an A+. It's what makes you the person everyone listens to in a group discussion or a big presentation. And down the road, whether you're leading a team or just trying to get a project done, your success is going to hinge on your ability to get your ideas across. This is how you do it. All right, enough talk. Communication is a muscle. And you know the only way to build a muscle, right? You got to use it. So let's put all this theory into action right now. First up, let's flex those writing muscles. We're going to do a quick and simple paragraph challenge. This is all about practicing that clear, organized thinking we were just talking about. Okay, here's your mission, and I promise it's way easier than it sounds. Just pick a topic, any topic. Start with one sentence that states your main point, then add a couple more sentences that explain your why, and wrap it all up with a concluding sentence. Boom, done. You've just built a perfect, bite-sized argument. Okay, next up, let's get that argument off the page and on its feet. It is time for the 2-minute speech. And hey, don't sweat it. The goal here isn't to give some world-changing performance. It's just to practice speaking with a little bit of clarity and confidence. So for this mission, choose a topic you actually care about. You could even use the paragraph you just wrote. Just jot down 2 or 3 main points you want to hit. Then stand up and actually deliver your speech, even if your only audience is yourself in the mirror. Focus on speaking clearly and making some eye contact. You got this. And that really brings us to the biggest takeaway of all. Look, the best ideas in the world don't mean a thing if they just stay locked up in your head. It's the consistent practice, both in writing and in speaking, that builds that bridge from your mind to your audience. That's what turns a quick thought into a powerful, unforgettable message. So I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. Now that you have these tools, what's one idea, it can be big or small, that you are going to share more clearly this week? Go on, put it into practice.